Hello.
Uh, so before we start, do we need to introduce ourselves?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm Temka, 26 years old, and I'm working as a journalist right now in Mongolia. What about you?
So my name is Bada, and I'm 18 years old. I'm a high school student,
Uh-huh.
and I live in New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Hmm.
Okay. So today I just decided to talk about education because if you see the last 10 years of Mongolia, there's this huge trend that the new generations they are seeking for a better life and the better education, and a lot of them they are going abroad to
Yeah.
have better education. And what do you think about that? Is it good or bad?
Um, for me specifically, basically this is what happened to me as well. Like my mom basically was like, "Yo, we're going." I was like, "Okay, I don't know where I'm going," but I was like, "Okay, let's go then."
Okay.
And now I'm looking back on it. It definitely is. It's very eye-opening because one of the biggest things that going to a different country does for you is it opens up your perspective a lot, and you get
Hmm.
to see how a different culture works. And basically, I feel like my advantage or something that I've greatly acquired from being in this is I know the two differences. I know what Mongolia looks like. I know how Mongolia lives, and then I know how New Zealand lives, like a New Zealand lives, and how they operate. And so having this ability to switch between them, having this extra um, horizon, basically, in my perspective, is what really I think. So in that aspect, it's definitely good.
So when did you go to New Zealand?
I went to New Zealand 7 years ago, so 2013
Yes.
March.
Did you study in middle school in Mongolia?
So I was in fifth grade when I left.
Okay. So you know the basic, I mean, the education system in Mongolia,
Yeah, I
right?
know like a good bit of
How?
it, how it operates. Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is that when this, I mean, the young generation, when they leave the country and they study the different country, but the problem is that they sometimes make decision that they, I mean, like to stay in that country or stay
Hmm.
as a permanent resident, and they were intended to go to states or any different country and learn some of their stuffs and apply what they learned to develop their country and come back, right? But some
Yeah.
people they don't come.
Yeah, they don't come back.
Are you going to come or not?
So I'm 18. I'm as lost as any 18-year-old would be in their life at this moment. And basically, I'm a high school student, and our family just got their residency here, so I don't have to pay international money for university. So that's a huge advantage I have, basically, for other people. So I'm gonna utilize that opportunity and finish university, and then most likely I'm gonna come back to Mongolia for a good few years. Definitely live it out, because I'll probably have to want to end up building a family or something like that. I didn't definitely want to have a family that's Mongolian as well, because that's just how I visualize my life going. But yeah, and maybe that's how my brother did it as well. So he finished university here, and now he works in Mongolia
Oh,
at a
that's good.
bank. Yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely, I'm going back, but I gotta finish my university here first because that's just a huge opportunity I can't miss out on.
Okay. So when you were in Mongolia, did you learn how to speak in English, or you learned it in New Zealand?
Speaking New
Yeah.
Zealand, definitely. I learned how to when I came here, I was able to read and write better than people who lived here.
Hmm.
Basically, like kids who lived here, I could read and write better than them, but I just can't speak because that's just not something I practiced.
Yeah. Now I remember that you went to there like when you were in fifth grade, right?
Yeah, so I was like 11.
So you were speaking Mongolian at the time.
Yeah, 100%.
So how did you learn the English? I mean,
That's a big question.
there's
How
so
did
many
you
people
learn the English?
there's so many people trying to learn English, and they say like that. Oh, I'm in Mongolia, so I can't learn English because if I was in different country like English-speaking countries such as like Canada, New Zealand, or States, I could have learned English better than this. But I mean, what's the
Hmm.
technique to learn the English? How can we improve ourselves?
Um, I'm gonna be honest. It's rough. It really is rough if you don't have someone to talk English to.
Uh-huh.
What helped me the most. So
Hmm.
first of all, you go if you're around just whatever you're trying to learn, especially for language. if you're just surrounded by like bombarded with content on it,
Mm-hmm.
you get a kind of develop an accent. So it helps you pick up things easier or listen to things easier. So what I did was, it's not purposefully. I just really liked the show, but it was Yu-Gi-Oh. So it was Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was dubbed in English. And at that point, I was so obsessed with this, I would rewatch it like every day, like
Mm-hmm.
religiously. It was bad, like and so doing that helped me develop like some kind of an American accent. So people here, when they hear me speak English, sometimes they're like, "Oh, you have an American accent," and I feel like that's from all the cartoons I watched, because surrounding yourself with that kind of content constantly, it helps your mind just kind of like, get used to it. And so you pick it up easier, I feel like.
Uh,
Also, it was at a time like when you're young, it's really easy to like it's more you're more faster at learning languages, I feel like. So that's just something that I realized from other people around my life.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think one of the biggest advice is to just consume a lot of content in whatever language you want to learn.
Okay. But the problem is that, I mean, like the people are very good at, I mean, like understanding or listening, reading or writing. But when it comes to like speaking, they can't speak. They hesitate. They sometimes just become mute.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, it really like you have to push yourself. It's so awkward. Like you have to understand that you're gonna sound awkward. You're gonna sound a little stupid to some people. But
Yeah.
that's like what you have to do. When I came here, first of all, first 2 months I didn't speak. I just couldn't. Like I didn't have the ability to speak.
Uh-huh.
But I had a lot of things to say, and I'm a very outgoing person. When I was in Mongolia, like I would, like be very loud and obnoxious. I would talk a lot in classes, all that stuff. So I liked expressing myself, and I
Uh-huh.
couldn't do that here because I couldn't speak, but I wanted to. You know what I mean? So as much as like I just put up like like all the few words I knew, and I would
Mm-hmm.
just like use that to like express what I was thinking or what I was feeling at the time. And I get made fun of a lot. Yes, I did get bullied. Send me what? I was like, haha, you say you're dumb, blah blah blah. But I really didn't care. Like, you know, I tried my best to like, I don't know. You have to be like good at something as well. It makes the process better. So what happened with me was, even though I couldn't speak, I could like write, type, and do math better than anyone there. So
Uh,
that was my advantage. Exactly. So like when you come to a new country, it's not all about the language. You gotta like to not get made fun of or anything like that. You gotta show some kind of like strength or value, I guess. That's what happened with me. I mean, like as much as they made fun of me for not being able to speak, like I could do things better than them, and that made me feel more confident about doing other things as well. So like, if I can be better at them at this thing, I can be better at them at speaking English, and I'm gonna keep trying. And basically, I just kept doing that, and at some point, I got pretty decent at it, and yeah.
so do you know any other language besides the English?
Nah, because I feel like language learning is a very exhaustive task, and the whole process takes too long, and I don't really I never had the need to learn a new language. I feel like I learned English because I had to.
Okay.
Mm.
So like, if you want to learn the language, I mean any other language, what would be the most, I mean, like ideal time?
Ideal.
Yeah.
But,
Like 2 years, 2 months, I mean, how many years?
how many years do you think? It's not really about the time. I feel like it's
Uh-huh.
about how much you're willing. Like if you're willing to put in like 100% of your effort into it, you'll. I feel like if you're, mm, I give you like 6 months, you'll be able to like say hi, hello, pretty comfortably. Like 6 months, you'll be able to say hello, hi, and pretty comfortably. That's only if you're doing it properly, though.
Uh-huh.
The thing was, the problem with English learning is you need the proper exercises to do it, and people either don't know or don't have the option to do it. So if you're in Mongolia and you want to learn how to speak better, it is very hard. I've actually realized there's a lot of clubs like Toastmasters and stuff like that that help you with English speaking. Those are big. You have to go to those if you want to get actually learn how to speak. I go to a Toastmasters club already here, and I kind of know how to speak the language anyways. Like that, because it teaches you like how to speak properly. And one of the biggest things that if you're in Mongolia and you want to go to a different country, you got to be able to like present like your document yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
these days countries want like only want you if you're able to add value, right? If you're good. Like
Mm-hmm.
my mom came here because she had a master's degree and all this stuff, and you have to be able to show that you have these things, and that's so important. And Toastmasters really helps you with that, like clubs like those, like public speaking. Because if you're not able to express yourself in your own value and what you can do to the people who are trying to the country you're trying to go to, then they're not gonna want you. And that's basically everything.
So,
And
I mean, how long did it take to learn English? I mean, like a native speaker for
like
you?
to where
Long.
I am now, um, 3 years.
3 years.
Like to be like normal, like to be like 3 years, and
Mm-hmm.
you're like normal now. Like if you came to if you after 3 years you went in to talk to anyone in New Zealand, like if I went and talked to anyone in New Zealand, I could have a completely normal conversation with them, and that's
Uh,
like completely fluent though. By like a year and a half, I was pretty much like okay, like I could get by the day. There were some things I didn't know. There were some dumb things I said, but overall I could do it.
uh-huh.
Like I say 3 years because there was a speech competition for my class,
Okay.
and I got like into the top four with my speech, and basically I was like, okay. At that moment, I was like, okay, I'm pretty confident. Like I feel like I can speak this language. Yeah, definitely.
So, do you think are you better at speaking English or Mongolian? Which one is better?
Um, I can definitely hold a conversation in Mongolian because I still speak Mongolian to all my family members, to my mom, my brother, my dad, everything like that. But I haven't learned like Mongolian at a higher level, so
Mm-hmm.
my expression ability is probably not that as high as my English. Because with my English, I'm like doing like pretty high level thinking, and I can actually express myself at high level thinking because that's what
Mm-hmm.
I practice. Because I go to school and do English, but I didn't really have the option to do that in Mongolia because I did my schooling here. But
Mm-hmm.
I can still like 100% hold a conversation and still talk to people. Yeah.
Well, actually, that's what's happening in Mongolia. I mean, the people under age of 10, they are very good at speaking English because of the education here,
Yeah.
the Cambridge education or something like that. But they're not good at speaking in Mongolian, and they don't know how to write in Mongolian correctly, and
Oh,
that's the problem then. Yeah,
like
sometimes they can't speak in Mongolian, and instead of saying something in Mongolian, they use English. So I mean, that's kind of sad.
yeah, it definitely is, and it comes down to like that national pride you have, and a lot of people have, and yeah, I agree completely. Like I always have like this like insecurity in myself that I might not be able. What if I forget? Like what if I forget how to speak Mongolian? And that's gonna be like a really bad time. But definitely like yeah, and I can still write and read. Like if you gave me like a text, I can read and understand what I'm reading. But maybe like not high level text because I can't do that with English anyways.
So
But
how do you come to Mongolia?
how often?
Yeah.
Um, Not a lot. It's very expensive. It's like $2,000 a ticket, and last time I went was last year. Last year, July. That's
But
when I
what
was.
about the location? It's right next to Australia, right?
Yeah, Australia. Yeah,
Ah, yeah. Got it.
so it's like another side of the world. It's a long flight, definitely.
How long?
16 hours, I think.
16 hours?
Yeah. So it's 12 hours to China or Korea, and then 3 or 4 from there to Mongolia, I think.
So, like, okay, I got it. Yeah.
Hmm. Sorry if I'm speaking a little bit too fast because I tend to do that a lot.
No,
You
it's,
gotta understand what I'm saying though, right?
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Do you have any questions?
Um, how come you're so interested in like this like the Mongolian education system and stuff like that?
I don't know. I was just thinking about there was a post on Facebook actually. It was talking about the Cambridge education system and the young people. I mean, the children they are not speaking in Mongolian. I mean, the classes are fully on English, and the
Oh.
Mongolian is a side language in the school.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I come with this topic here.
Hmm. So how did you learn English?
I used to watch a lot of contents on YouTube.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, that's how I learned it.
Hmm.
But I'm still struggling. I mean, trying to speak in English like a native speaker and perfect my language.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, it's really hard. I don't know how to do it incorrectly.
Um, it's if you're in Mongolia and you're trying to pick up an accent, that's not working out.
Yeah,
You need
it's
to
really,
like,
and that's why I'm trying to go to States. I mean, but
yeah,
because of quarantine, I mean, the COVID-19, I'm not
yeah.
able to go there.
USA is not the best place to go right now, I'll tell you that. But
But I have a visa appointment on the 1st of October.
okay, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and as soon as this quarantine is over, I'm gonna go there. Hopefully,
yeah.
if the I mean, if the COVID is not that, I mean, like, how can you say?
Like it's not that like when it gets better.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so yeah, definitely I agree. Like when you go to US and you have to be social, man. You can't just like the thing with I had to. Like there was no one like I could not speak Mongolian to anyone. Like
yeah.
thing was a lot of if you're like Chinese or Korean or Japanese, there's a lot of people who are from there. Like you go to US, it's very diverse. You'll find some Mongolians there, 100%. Or like
Mhm.
if you're Chinese, you'll find so many Chinese people. If you're Korean, you find so many Korean people. And the not a mistake, but a thing that people do that slows them down from learning English is they hang out with the people from their own race. And I don't blame them. Like it's more comfortable, you know, it's like more like home. But in a way also like when you're thrown into the deep end with no one to talk to, like you kind of your body auto does it. Like you have to learn how to speak.
Mhm.
But
But what
also,
is it like to, I mean, live in New Zealand?
mm, hmm?
What is it like to be, I mean, to live in New Zealand?
It's first of all it's expensive. It's very expensive.
Really?
Yeah, like especially the part of place we live in, it's Auckland, the main like the main city. It's the rent rates is super expensive and food's very expensive, but you know they also pay pretty decent, so it's all right. But it's overall it's pretty expensive.
And do you work?
Um, hmm?
Do you work?
Yeah, I work. Yeah, I work. I just work
Okay.
at like a restaurant, like some like a cashier. It's not big because I still go to school, so.
So when, like, when it comes to New Zealand, I have nothing know about. I mean, I know nothing about the New Zealand.
Hmm.
The only thing I know is that the aggressive dancing, like,
Oh
ha,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Kapaka.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's called a kapahaka, and it's like their traditional war dance, I think. Yeah.
Kappa, what?
Kapahaka. So Kapa kappa and
Uh-huh.
then Haka haka
So
kapahaka.
what's the first language?
So they speak. Everyone speaks first of all English,
Uh-huh.
and then their native language is Maori.
Ma. What? Ma?
Maori. So it's Maori.
I got it. I got
Yeah,
it.
Maori.
Yeah.
And they teach it as a subject here, but it's an option as well. And it's a whole big thing. It's like what you were talking about. So basically, what happened with New Zealand is their history. How it goes is it was fully like it was all Maoris and stuff like that. And then the British came and they colonized it. And now there's this whole thing going on about like how Maori language is getting out of what do you call it? Like it's a side language and all this stuff. Like there's not people who know. And it's basically what you're talking about now, but a little bit back.
Okay, got it. So it's
But
already happened. It's
yeah,
past.
okay. But the thing with Mongolia is like we're not colonized by anyone. We have too much pride to like let that kind of stuff happen. I feel like,
Yeah, of course. I hope so.
yeah. The one thing that like I believe the Mongolians have is pride. We're very nationalist, like about our own country. You know, we're like very proud of our own country.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I had the Genghis blood.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally that. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Hmm.
And did you hear about the thing happening in the Inner Mongolia,
No. What's
the
going on?
traditional Mongolian?
Say it again.
The Chinese government is banning the usage of the traditional Mongolian in Inner
Oh.
Mongolia.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, China's rough, man.
Mongolia, the part of China, it's not our business, but still, I mean, I kind
Yeah,
of
it's like
feel
our people.
for them.
It's our language.
Yeah, it's our language.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. China's doing some crazy things right now.
Yeah.
They're doing insane stuff over there, and the world is just a crazy place right now to live in.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, 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 exactly.
Yeah.
But the China, they never care about the human rights or freedom or something like that.
You have too much people, you know. Too
Yeah,
much
I mean,
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that's our time for today. So it was a great interview. Well, I love that. I actually loved it. It was like a nice chat, and I actually loved. And it's great to
Me,
hear about like what you're thinking and stuff. So
it
yeah,
was really great.
yeah. Thank you so much for the interview, and see you later.
Yeah, thanks.